single target. Yeah, the graphics are similar, but yeah. Okay, so we've got the mask. The next thing is the rod. So we'll just head straight to the cave next rather than going to Mysidia. And I guess I'll commit to Holy for a bit longer. Stream VODs available. They should be. The thing is, I have a bunch of like 7-hour videos I need to split up. It's a lot of work. It's on my to-do list. It's just I never have time these days. The Discord group has a lot of links to unlisted playlists and stuff. But yeah, most everything does end up on YouTube eventually. It's just there's a bit of a backlog basically. I also feel like Holy is not doing bonus damage to undead. And that seems a bit like a weak. Sometimes they're unlisted, so it won't show them unless you have a link. That's where Discord has links to playlists. I think what I meant to do was have a bunch of public playlists that connected to unlisted videos, but again, it's just a matter of setting everything up, and I haven't had much time this summer. I've been very backlogged on YouTube work. I've got some time to stream, and I'm enjoying playing the games, but the actual admin side I'm way behind on. There you go, Spirit continues to increase. And almost at an upgrade in animation. Oh, these guys are gonna wreck me. So enemies with the swap spell are actually pretty brutal. You go from 1000 MP to 100, you know. It's one of those terrible spells for the party, but very powerful spells for the enemy. Okay, well, we'll make a save, although the autosave kind of makes these a little bit less valuable, but okay. Let's just keep going on the Mysidia quest, basically. Let's go top left, and then work our way down the middle and do the bottom last, I guess. We're gonna get our MP stolen. Someone remind me where. I know Osmos is a drop. The spell Osmos is a drop we can get from some mages. But is there anywhere we could buy it right now, or are we just waiting till we find the right treasure chest? So black flans definitely seem stronger than the other dessert flavors. They're probably licorice, and you know no one likes them, so that makes them strong. They feed on our hate. Oh, this is the new spell animation, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I definitely enjoy the animations, as much as I'm complaining about the magic. The magic looks cool. Effectiveness, One thing is, actually, this is almost a trick. That purple poison is very strong now. It does some percentage of your total HP. You could cleanse it with Isuna, or take damage while you walk. But if you leave it on, walking doesn't do percentage damage. I think walking is like, is it 5 damage per step or 1 damage per step? Some small amount. The thing is, because it's percentile, if you leave it on, if you don't cleanse it, every combat, if you just survive a couple rounds, well, you know, we did not survive a couple rounds, but you'll take a few hundred damage or some percent of your total HP. So you can roll your max HP and stamina very easily just by leaving people poisoned. Just leave them poisoned, do a few battles where they just, you know, they just take a 25% of their HP or something just after a few rounds, and you'll always gain an HP up. And that way you can have maximum, like, super high evasion and armor and everything, and still get HP growth. I mean, I don't know if it's a huge brain, but I need something to talk about while we holy black desserts, licorice desserts to death. Not that Guy even needs the HP, really, but because he started poisoned, I expect by the end of this battle he'll get another HP up, just as a proof of concept anyway. In the previous versions, the poison did not do nearly as much damage, so it would not have worked. There you go. Another 52 hit points. It's a small increase, but eventually his stamina will be 99, and then he'll get 99 hit points per level, if you want to call that a level. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It might be better to trade Asuna even. I mean, the HP, our HP is so high, it doesn't really matter. I think having access to Asuna to clear more dangerous status inflictions is actually probably better. So spamming Asuna to get rid of stone and stuff later is probably more useful. Looks like there's some enemy we're fighting that can train us. Oh, you know, it's because when we fight these, the battle goes on for so long. That's it. So, I think we learned this last live stream, but in this version of FF2, and it might be different than the previous versions, I'm pretty sure, there's some kind of formula for the enemy rank, the power of the enemy, versus your current weapon rank. And as their rank goes up, you get more weapon experience, and as your weapon rank goes up, you get less weapon experience. So they kind of balance each other a bit. That's kind of the XP curve of the game, kind of like, you know, getting experience from killing enemies in a normal RPG. However, there is some kind of mechanic for number of attacks per round, and there seems to be like a cutoff point, some kind of balance where enemy rank versus weapon rank, you get zero weapon experience for 1 round of combat or 2 rounds of combat. But it seems like no matter how low an enemy level, at some point after 2, 3, 4 rounds of combat, you get past the 0 experience and start gaining actual progress to your next weapon level. So fighting weak enemies that take 5 rounds or 6 rounds of combat, even though it doesn't look like we're doing anything, we're actually getting weapon level ups from this, which is kind of peculiar, I guess. I mean, mind you, we're actually doing damage now with weapons anyway, so it's fine. But seems like Guy might have enough strength with the axe to pierce those black flan. And the Holy might be strong enough to kill a red moose in one shot. Yeah, we're getting a little bit grindy, but, you know, we're getting there. And yeah, Guy is very nearly to Axe 10. That could be interesting. So I think Guy is the best target for this because his agility and evasion are kind of bad. And then I can just move the Diamond Cuirass to somebody else. But this'll probably save him more hits. Also guards against stone. And he's been turned to stone a few times. So, you know, I'll give the fancy diamonds. No, I'll give the diamonds to the girl. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, I say. Okay. Well, that was a nice treasure chest. Good. I'm glad we finally got something worth checking. The last dungeon, I feel like almost every chest was trash. Okay, let's do the bottom right, and then we'll do the middle, and then the bottom left. I think I might stop spamming holy soon. Maybe I should get one more level out of it if I can. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. I think we'll get holy to 7, which is the same as our black magic, and then we'll stop grinding it, because it definitely slows down around level 6. Like, it didn't take us too long to get to level 6, but level 7 is going to be a long grind. And maybe that's just based on the enemy levels, I don't know. Maybe higher level enemies will grind up the magic very quickly anyway, but I think magic experience, I think, has a different sort of formula for growth than weapon experience. I think I don't believe magic, I mean, I'm not sure, I could be wrong, but I don't think magic cares about the enemy's rank. Like, your weapon skill depends on the enemy's sort of tier of enemy. But I feel like magic has just always been per use. Like, even against the weakest enemy, you always get 1 casting value of experience, right? It just requires more casts at higher levels. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I guess I thought Guy was killing those flans, but I guess not. Maybe those axes have a good critical chance. Maybe that's the trick. Well, he got to level 10 axe. Okay, I will go down to talk to that guy. But first off, we'll do the middle room that's probably nothing. Getting some agility. I think that's our first weapon rank at level 10, actually. And we weren't even specifically grinding for it, just, you know, chopping up dessert pudding. Kind of feel like maybe I should grind up his punching a bit now. Well, grind up. We should switch to punching so that he gains some punching experience. Alright, well, we did level up Holy. So I'm gonna test it out in like 1 or 2 more battles just to see how it's doing for damage, but it definitely slows things down casting magic all over and over again. Combat goes a lot quicker if you just auto-battle weapon attacks, you know. Holy, and yeah, I'm gonna... Well, just do 1 round of, how strong is that axe? Okay, so Holy against a normal enemy, 175. That's not enough damage. That's a level 7 spell that we've been grinding for the last half hour, at least. And, like, we've got, I really think, like 49, 50 spirit is nothing, that's not bad. You know, it is getting stronger, but like every magic rank is giving it like 20, 25 more damage. I can't see how that will ever keep up with proper weapons, right? Like, and then the base power might go up a little bit with your spirit, but like it doesn't feel like it goes up enough. Whatever it is going up, it's not enough. Okay, we're gonna switch over to, if anything now, we're gonna grind a different spell, because we've got all these white magic spells. And I know eventually, when we're fighting bosses, we're gonna want them to not be terrible. And I don't want to do a dedicated, let's just sit here and cast Shell 500 times grind. So I'm thinking we'll just have Furion do this, which slows down battle a bit. I don't know, man. It just takes so long. Well, and this is Black Fan with no magic, so maybe I should have Maria use magic now that Furion's not. We really have too much HP at this point. We need our cure spell to be a lot higher level. It's kind of like Secret of Mana, you know, grinding your spells by casting them over and over again. Except that it scales way higher than what Secret of Mana required. The doppelganger is motionless. The purity of Furion's heart is stifling the defiled creature. Do you know anything? There, have a mask. Well, we lost our black mask, but at least we don't have to worry about a doppelganger. Alright, floor 2. Lots of treasures once again. That top right section is suspicious because there's no stairs into it. Alright, we'll go top left and then we'll go around clockwise. Oh, he's supposed to be on shell. We'll switch him. Ooh, the punching is gonna kill. I mean, I like punching, man. It's so overpowered. It should feel nice for a little while to just spam the punch. So you are focusing on learning how to buff a little better. Yeah, as if fire is gonna do damage. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna change Maria's strat here. I don't care about the elemental spells very much, but there is one spell that could be worth training up that's really low level right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna start training up Aura. I don't know if it's any good in this version, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure in the Dawn of Souls version, this spell, however it worked under the hood, this one, I remember after leveling up a little bit, it seemed to scale up our damage output way more than any of the other buff spells. So, we'll see. We're probably all gonna get poisoned and stuff here by not taking this fight seriously, but we'll see. Some Marlboro mans. But did the developers give them their bad breath in Final Fantasy 2? I don't think they had it yet. I think maybe Final Fantasy 3 was when they got their status attack. They have a stun attack. That's not very nice. Are you gonna recover from that guy, or kind of have a problem here? Come on, one more round, guy. You can stand up. I believe in you. I don't want to lose my... Okay, we've got a problem here. Maybe we shouldn't auto-battle Without more offense against Marlboros. Malboros, sorry. So these trap rooms might be a little bit more dangerous with stuff like that. Just because of stun, you know. So my target goal for Aura and the Shell and Protect spells actually isn't that high. I'm not going to go for like level 7 or 8. I just wanted to get them to like level 4. I think 4 was when they started getting a little bit better. It's okay if it misses. It's the act of casting the spell that counts. It's not about whether or not it takes effect. Oh, Layla, we don't need her. She would just waste our time a little bit. I don't think we can punch enough for these black flans. Now, if we stay here long enough for Guy to kill them via punching, he will also get a punching level up, but it will take a while. So I don't know if it's worth it. But like I was saying earlier, there seems to be some kind of scaling number of rounds of combat. It starts giving you weapon experience again. He must be level 9 punch, but... I don't think I have the patience for this. This is the kind of thing I might just leave running while I made dinner. I mean, the poison would kill us eventually, so we need to have some way of, this is not quite perfect. Guy needs to be immune to poison or have some more evasion. And then you could just leave this and come back half an hour later, and, everyone would have a weapon up. Everyone would level up. Okay, they're weak to fire, so fire definitely does the most damage. So that's something. I mean, like I said before, if you can take advantage of elemental weaknesses, it's not terrible. Well, at least we're using magic in the dungeons that you're supposed to use magic. Even if it's a bit awkward. Yeah, see, Aura leveled up even though we missed everything but the first one. That's fine. Okay, so how are we doing? Shell's very nearly there. Or is it level 2? Oh, so much flans. Sure, whatever. I think if AoE fire was enough to kill the black flans, I probably wouldn't complain near as much, but because you have to do it single target like this, or else it doesn't even kill them. Oh, I'm supposed to be... I need like 1 or 2 casts of shell to level it up, so... Like, what am I doing here? Just need to cast this a couple times. There you go. Shell and Asuna leveled up. Nice. Canoe City? That's Crescent Lake. Well, level 5 Asuna, level 3 Shell. I think I want to try to get it to level 4, and then we'll move on to Protect and Barrier and Wall. Ugh. And when I say we, I'll probably end up doing a bunch of it on my own time. So what I'm trying to do, let's switch to protect. I'm trying to get aura and punch. I want to see punch at level 10. That's kind of the other goal here. And as long as someone's punching, combat won't take too long. In this game, the classes are only what you make. By default, everybody can do everything, but you can also decide anyone could be a black mage if you wanted. You shouldn't. Black mages are terrible. A pure offensive caster is garbage in this game. Oh, we're in trouble again. Well, the Malboros are already running, so I guess there's that. Well, time to check out another thing. Let's see if Basuna is strong enough to clear that. It probably is not. Let's just kill some of them. Let's not kill some of them. They all start with slightly better stats. Guy starts physically oriented. Maria is a little bit more intelligence oriented. Like, if anything, Furion is a fighter paladin. Maria is like an archer black mage, and Guy is a berserker monk. But it's a temporary, like, starting affinity. It's definitely not, like, you don't have to worry about it. That only matters for the first, like, hour. After that, whatever you use, they'll be better at anyway. I mean, I have Maria using a bow because that's her canonical weapon. But she's also, I've trained her up in, spears and daggers. Layla, don't worry about Layla. She's having a nap. We don't need Layla. How do we get to that right area? That's the other question. Maybe from this next section. We don't talk about Layla. She's just resting. No achievements, no. Most of the achievements are like, fight every enemy in the game, open every chest in the game, beat the game, you know, stuff like that. Layla is not a permanent party member. She is a temporary character, so her gaining any stats is a waste of your time. She just wastes turn time. The game has a very complicated stat progression system. As you can see on the victory screen, there is no experience, like every other Final Fantasy game. So, how are we getting stronger? Well, that's, someone could write an essay on it, I think. I'm tired of flans. It's not worth it. Well, I should try a Fireall just to see. Getting everyone to level 99? Well, I certainly didn't do that without fast forward on the emulator, let's say. But sure, Final Fantasy V, I don't think I ever got everyone to master every job. That still was... Wait a second, isn't Guy supposed to be immune to stone? Hold on, after this battle we need to check something. I'm fairly confident I gave him an item and equipment to not be statues. Look at this, he just gets turned to stone instantly. Alright, we got a little bit more aura. Like I said, level 4 is probably the target for that. Let's see. Equipment, Guy, black garb. An outfit that enhances agility and guards against physical status ailments, such as stone. So either the armor lies, or we found ourselves another bug, because, like, if it's protecting you from stone, then you should not be turned to stone. Alright, dead ends. I still don't know how to get that chest in the top right. There's almost surely a hidden passage somewhere I'm just missing. Okay, we've got Berserk at level 5, that's plus damage. Aura is plus something, it's a mystery. No one knows how Aura works. It just makes you better at whatever you're doing. Magic effects? So it only protects you from the break spell? That's not very good. So if the game differentiates, you know, status effects on hit, I guess it's the same as FF1 in that sense. Well, yeah, because on hits that the stun touch, death touch, that all ignored your armor stuff as well. I mean, it's, I understand it, but it's not great. Does this game even have bad breath? But sure, enemy skills if they exist, you know. We should be getting Protect level 3 soon. Check this door. Actually, let's check this wall. I want to check this wall for a secret passage to the top right. I kind of feel like leveling up the defensive buff spells is a waste. But you never know when we're going to run into a boss. Like, the FF1 trick was that the final, like, chaos for the Pixel Remaster was actually really strong compared to the original. So, I feel like the endgame bosses is when we're going to want our buff spells. Even though right now, if we equip a shield, nothing can touch us. But I'm assuming there'll be some difficult fights later on. Alright, Shell 3, Protect 3. I do want to get them to 4. I don't know if Barrier and Wall make much difference, but maybe after. And we're almost at Aura 4, so that's something. Maybe we should do some science on Aura. Once we get Aura to level 4, I'll try to show if I can see how much difference it makes. What I can do is have, like, Guy attack, get a feeling for how much damage he does, and then cast Aura on him and see the difference. Maybe we can test out Berserk as well. I feel like they did well in the Dawn of Souls, so. But then we're only grinding up to level 4 or 5 rather than 10, right? If it doesn't make a difference, then, you know, whatever. Alright, this is not the kind of battle we want to test on. There actually was a Marlboro that we fought already. They didn't even add an R, it was just a Marlboro. But, it didn't use bad breath on us, so I don't know what it was doing. Alright, well, we'll probably just get stoned, but, let's kill a couple, and then we'll do the aura. So, 1200 damage, approximately. Not bad. And then all the birds are dead. So then we cast Aura level 4. And we'll see how much, if it makes a difference. So, around 1200. Maybe it is it spell damage? See, Aura is a weird spell. I still don't know how it works. Effectiveness against various enemy types. It might be like it has a threshold where once it gets to a certain level, then it applies effectiveness against flying. Effective against magical creature, effective against mage, giant, dragon, etc. In which case it doesn't really matter until you get to the right threshold that it applies. But then you get like triple damage or some nonsense. Let's test it out on the brains. I don't think there's an arrow spell in this game. Aura, as in, it's a weird buff. More like something from Final Fantasy VIII. One of those weird spells like that. Alright, here we go. No, that's pretty normal damage. So far, I haven't seen it change anything. Well, we'll test out Berserk next. Yeah, no, it's not Wind Elemental or anything. Alright, so kill one. Test out level 5 Berserk. So remember, we're doing, if we get 9 hits, around 1200 damage, approximately. And then now it should be more, in theory. Yeah, okay, Berserk, definitely doing its job. I would say that's almost, something like 40% stronger. Maybe not quite 40%. There's definitely some shortcut secret passages that I'm not finding. I don't know where they are. Hey look, Mulbaros, we're just talking about you. Is there a haste spell? Maybe. I can't remember. There is a slow spell. I think we have the slow spell. I wouldn't be surprised. There should be, but it's not as good as... I could be completely misremembering it, but I think there is. But unlike Final Fantasy 1, it's not just an auto... doubling. It's probably scaling on the level of the spell or something. Well, the goal for now is to keep leveling these spells a little bit more, and hopefully Guy will get a punch level up at some point. Although I am definitely getting kind of towards my limit of slow motion combat spell grinds. You need a faster fast forward for this. Oh, and that's right, it doesn't remember who you targeted on for spells for auto battle. So they just default to casting on themselves rather than buffing up Guy. Lots of lurkers watch. Don't worry about it, J. Kern. Oh, we got paralyzed again. Unfortunately, Guy definitely seems susceptible to status attacks. Even though he's supposedly has good magic defense. However, on hit statuses work. He's struggling. So, what? Yeah, he does have a pretty high magic defense multiplier, but I guess what you need is the evasion. Would it be better just to give him less damage, but... yeah, maybe this would be less annoying if he just stops getting paralyzed and stuff. So, oh, there's the... wait a second! Marlboros don't have bad breath, but this weird dragon thing does? He stole it. Alright, so that's Aura up. Maybe that's enough for now for Aura. So that's Berserk 5, Aura 5. That's good enough. I'm not going to do that anymore. So Maria can just switch back to not wasting our time. I know it's difficult. But I do want to get some of these white magic spells a little bit better. And honestly, a lot of the goal right now is to try to get... I'm trying to get that punch up, but... I think we need much longer battles to get to level 10. So I'd have to fight, like, the desserts. Yeah, Arsuna is not strong enough. Arsuna only cleanses, poison and blindness? Maybe silence? It does not cure a lot of stuff. And then you also need Basuna for the other stuff. Alright, shells 4, that'll be enough shell for the moment. Surprise! Well, prepare to blow up. So now I'll try to get protect up. Well, this is probably, they're just gonna explode. But it's just free hit points. I could go for some blueberry muffins. I think the Blueankylo last mentioned she might do some baking next weekend or something. Now that we're getting out of the heat wave for summer, a little bit easier to do baking. Look at all the HP gains we get. Thanks. Ogre Killer. That's an axe we already had 2 of. Boo. How far are we? More than 50%? I don't know. It's been so long since I've played it, I don't really have as good a gauge as I used to. Once we have the ultimate spell, which is kind of what we're working on, we're probably like 75% in. The end game dungeons are pretty big, but we've been almost everywhere on the map, so there's only a couple areas left we haven't been to. Let's cook. Oh yeah. Blue bakes. Blue binges blueberry muffins while baking. It depends how much messing around. I'm sure I could get to the end a heck of a lot quicker if instead of spamming these stupid spells, we just killed our enemies and got out of here. Like, the last 2 hours, basically today's stream, we have had a very slow progression because I'm trying to show off magic and yeah. But honestly, I don't know if it's worth the amount of time it takes. I mean, just look how much faster it goes when you're just killing stuff. And this is not even a very fast build. Our guy could definitely do better. The sweet upload content? Yeah, but that's the problem, is I don't have time to split these videos up into 500 sub pieces. I don't know. I do want to get these. I will get these uploaded at some point. I don't know, man. Alright, we're switching back to less slow mode. If I don't finish the game today, then I will, in the background, dang it, I'm mad because I didn't get those chests. And unless I want to look up a map, I don't think I know where to go. And the encounter rate is as crazy as always, so. Because there's top left chest. And I feel like you have to go all the way around. Like it's not here or anything. I forget where the link is. There's a way over there, I'm sure, but I think we're nearly at the end of the dungeon now. This is a big long loop-de-loop, and then 3 doors, and one of them's the end. You know, one thing. We could nerf his damage a bit, but have nearly max evasion just by changing to agility gear rather than strength gear. These things. Okay, we need to find a dungeon that doesn't have so much dessert in it. It'll just be a lot more enjoyable for everybody. We've had too much. We're getting fat on flan. I think they also should have made weapon experience more consistent as well. A lot of times we're doing battles and getting 0 weapon XP, and then a long battle and suddenly you get 50% of the next level kind of thing. I think it would be better if they'd scaled it a little bit more smoothly. I'm not sure exactly, but I was hoping that for the Pixel Remaster, they had changed the formula a little bit to be more, not just user-friendly, but a little bit more like sensible or sane, because it's all part of the overall balance. But they kept it, you know, pretty true to the original mostly. But in the original, you did dumb tricks like the cancel command exploit that lets you just grind up as many levels as you wanted to spend instantly grinding. Didn't I just give you a bunch of evasion, guy, and suddenly still not dodging anything? It just shows you how amazing shields are. If you don't have a shield equipped, you're definitely much more fragile. Hey, chicken hair. Well, we just finished a lot of magic talk, but we've switched back to not doing magic and just killing things efficiently, so you've come well. Hopefully we're going to be making some good progress, in theory. And then one more dead end, probably. And I think that's it for this dungeon? Well, except for the chests I missed. Also, thanks for the super chat once again, Jaker. That's $5 in blueberry muffin ingredients. Alright, lots of chests, but how do you get to that top right bit again? Certainly not by fighting ghosts. Okay, now if these are like Final Fantasy 1 ghosts, we're in big trouble. Well, we'll see. We left 2 alive. And then they just missed. Aw, man. I had my hopes up for a second, a tough fight, but we're just too strong. Okay, the Drain Tome might be, I don't know if that's like super value, but I guess I already had one. So yeah, stealing HP is cool. We want to steal MP, that's the real goal. But that's one of the ones I haven't trained up yet. So if you were a secret passage, where would you be? Maybe right by the door, a passage to the right? We must be getting pretty close to maximizing some of our stats. 77 strength, 84 agility. 64 strength, 61 intelligence, 90 agility. But that's with no pluses, I don't think. Some people, I think a lot of us have plus strength gear right now. Guy has plus agility gear, that's why he's at 85. He's actually 65, but... it's not bad. This is bad, though. Nobody wants to fight Flans. That's actually a really rude combo. The fires are immune to magic, and then the Flans are mostly immune to physical. So many juicy treasure chests just sitting there waiting to get eaten. Yeah, this is a lot better than casting magic every combat. Just spamming protect for half an hour. Oh, did I go the long way for no reason? Yeah, I could have just gone up the... Oops. We're not in a rush, right? Just padding that video length. Getting that ad rev later on one day. Alright, welcome back to episode 532 of Grinding Magic in Final Fantasy II. One day we're going to be level 16 in all of our spells. We just need to cast fire about 300 more times today, and maybe we'll get a level up. And then it'll do 5 more damage. Yeah, so our punching is still doing 9,000 damage, and our spells are still doing 200, but one day our magic will be really cool. Don't worry, guys. Someone in YouTube told me. Someone on live chat. Okay, is there a secret? Am I, like, missing a visual clue? There's gotta be a way to get over to those treasure chests, right? A good way to get HP without hitting yourself. Don't equip shields, stay in the front row. Keep playing until you find enemies that are stronger. If you don't want to hit yourself, it's going to take a little while. But eventually you'll find enemies that can do 500, 600 damage. But you definitely need to not stack up your agility and evasion too high. Basically, with a shield on, like, it's kind of ridiculous. If I leave a shield on, enemies cannot physically hit me at all, so you don't take a lot of damage once you have 99% evasion. But yeah, I talked about a little trick earlier. Once you fight enemies that have the purple poison, you can just leave the purple poison on, and it does percentage HP damage. So you can just wait like 5 rounds and take half your HP and always gain. But that almost feels as exploitative as punching yourself, but you know. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about your HP growth too much. Generally, the game is kind of silly easy, I would say. It's probably better... Oh, there we go. We finally got one. It's probably better to keep your HP low, because it keeps the battles more interesting. Yeah, okay. I'll give it to Maria. She's the black mage. Now, I'm curious. So Sap was really strong at level 1 compared to the NES version. I'm interested to see if Osmos has any, like, are we gonna need to grind it to level 6 before its value, but... so we found the crystal rod, but I mean, I'm trying to get all the treasure chests, but I don't remember... hold on, I'm just gonna cheese it. Well, cheese it. I'm just gonna look up a guide, because I forget where the secret tunnels are. And unless you guys want me to bash into walls and, bashing into walls, fighting random encounters every 5 steps. It's gonna be faster if I just look it up. FF2 Mysidia Cave map. The NES one should work. Alright. 20... so there's a little... Oh. Did I just miss... Well, according to the map, the tile is over here. But how do we get there? Okay, hold on. Let's see if my guide is working. I can't read chat with my guide over Rotant. How will I know what you guys are talking about? But yeah, hey, I do approve. I always appreciate it when you guys donate to the Blueankylo Blueberry Muffin Fund, but certainly not required or anything. As long as you guys are enjoying the show, that's fine. And this is not a big money, not a big cash grab stream, you know. It's all good, but I would definitely do this thing differently if I was trying to make big bucks. And I don't really even want my YouTube stuff to be work. It's already work enough some days fighting with YouTube. I don't want it to be more work. It's just gotta be fun. Okay. So, I'm looking at a map right now. We're on basement 5. In theory, there's a little pink tile on the right side of the cave. Oh! No. No. I thought I read something, but nope. I still really wish there was a way to turn down encounters, man. Where's my Moogle charm? Okay, so somewhere... Yeah, see? Isn't that gimmicky? Because, like, it looks like you're on a level 2 above level 1. Like, now we're on the ground floor, whereas you have to climb up the stairs to get up there. But this is the same... Oh, man. No, it's like an optical illusion. That's... I think that was what was confusing me. Kind of a cheap trick. Another weird design quirk for FF2 that they definitely did better with later on in the series. So mini tome is worthless. Potion doesn't matter. Ether doesn't matter. High potion doesn't matter. High potion doesn't matter. Awesome. Alright, back to B4. We did not miss anything on this floor. So one convenient thing of doing it in this order is we can just use warp to speed along our backtracking, so it won't take quite as long. Also, it looks like warp doesn't even do damage. Teleport gets you out of the dungeon, but you take a bunch of damage. But it seems like warp is HP neutral at least, so that's nice. Alright, so this one's got a chest in the top left that we need to get. You know, it's going to be less walking if we do this. And then come back down. Because the shortcut is close to this entrance. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the first person to do this style of Let's Play, certainly, but I remember when I started the channel up all those years ago, I definitely... There were some other Let's Players that I watched at the time, and definitely took a lot of inspiration from how they did things. Never really liked the guys that do a lot of, you know, smash that like button, yada yada yada. Especially when you spend like, what is it? What's the meme? That's not even very good. You spend like the first 5 minutes of your video introducing the video and demanding people click buttons and donate and whatever, you know, all the interaction stuff YouTube tells you to do. And then you're like, this is my top 10 tricks to making YouTube rev. And then you basically end the video, because next time, after we get 500 likes, I'll really tell you. You know, all those dumb gimmicks, like, man, I don't know. I guess they must work a little or else no one would do them, but... Push all the blues buttons. Push my buttons and I'll push yours. Bring out the ban hammer. We need some more mods. I don't know, man. Alright, I think we're just missing one more secret wall here and one more chest and then we'll be done. Assuming we don't get killed by Marlboros. Marlboros. They're not Marlboros. They live at the mall. They like to borrow money from you and not pay it back. Alright, this one is really easy, but again, you have to know you can just walk through the wall to find it. If you don't think you can walk through walls, there's nothing tipping you off about the spot. At least nowadays games are a little bit better about sort of telegraphing cheats or telegraphing secrets. You generally don't have to literally push against walls randomly to find stuff. Generally. Although I do think like the glowing sparkle trails are a little bit too much. I don't really like that in my games. But like, how would you ever know how to get that chest? Like, you can't see anything, right? There's no visual indicator of what tile. Until I touch it, I don't think anyone could randomly guess. Well, you could randomly guess. There's like 10 options or something. But other than just bumping against all of them, there's no way to know, right? That it's that one. Unless, maybe you guys have better eyes than I do. Maybe you can see something that I can't. Blue, there's one pixel that's turned 45-degree angle, and the shade is 10% darker, and it, you know, just get good. But yeah, I think it's just a random. This tile you can walk through, this tile you cannot. You know, there's nothing. But that's how it was in the old days on the NES and the Super Nintendo sometimes. At least on the Super Nintendo they started adding in like that thief, like Final Fantasy V had the thief ability where you can see secrets, you know, stuff like that. I think Final Fantasy IV had a ton of invisible walls. But after that they started being a bit nicer. But then they got out of 2D, and once you got to 3D mode, invisible walls didn't really make much sense. So, it's kind of a product of a bygone era, you know? Hey there, Oodaloop. Alright, so, that was quite the grind of that dungeon. We spent way too long in there. It's those spells. Trying to level up spells is pretty slow. Now, on the plus side, we've got Holy level 7, or whatever it is. Yeah, Holy level 7, so... We've almost got Protect 4. We should get Protect to 4, that won't take very long. So then we've got Shell and Protect to 4, Blink to 5, Holy to 7. Those are all good, theoretically good spells. Wall and Barrier, I just don't think I've got the time for, but they're maybe useful. We've got Aura and Berserk to 5. I still don't know if Aura is going to do anything in this version. And then all the elemental spells are pretty terrible. All the status infliction spells are even worse. And I forgot to try out Osmos, so that was it. But yeah, we went in there at 14:48 on the timer. And we left. That was an hour-long dungeon for no good reason, basically. But now we're going to go to Mysidia. So we'll walk around these mountains and... As soon as we're not fighting dessert dishes, I will test out Osmos. Sorry, every time I have to play the game in full screen mode so that there's no weird screen tearing. Also, generally undead are immune to Osmos. Or they reverse it, but who knows. But yeah, I got some weird screen tearing when I play in windowed mode. So I have to play in full screen, but then every time I click out of it, you know, minimizes. You know. I prefer borderless window when I'm recording for sure. Oh, Layla, don't worry about Layla. We'll deposit her somewhere. We will deposit her somewhere safely soon enough. She's just following us around. Mostly having a nap. Okay, how's it going, Wolves? Alright, it's time to break the curse. Put the artifacts in the tower. So many red mages in town. I think they were just black in the original game. I don't think they got red robes until the remake. Wait, no? I have the crystal rod. What am I... Maybe I need to take the crystal rod back to Finn? You thought I was already done? No, we spent way too long using magic. So we got the blast... We did get the black mask, right? Well, we had the black mask. Wait, what happened to it, right? We put it on the doppelganger. And then it disappeared. So am I being dense here? What am I doing wrong? I thought you just got the crystal rod and... Blue forgets how to play. I thought you had to do something else in here. Are we just supposed to go sailing to the weird island now? No one said that. We went to the very small island, got the crystal rod, break the seal on the tower, collect the mass. We did this. We traveled to the cave. That's where we got the crystal rod. And now we need to find the tower. So no one's telling me where the tower is then, I guess. So are we just talking about the little sort of C-shaped island to the north? Unfortunately, I have to sail around the entire world to get there.